Hi, this is Lisa Schmid with the Stamper Studio, and welcome to Wonder Wednesday. I wonder what she's going to talk about. No, tonight's a night where you can, if you want to text me or email me or put something in the chat, let me know what you're wondering about. I wonder why I bought that. I wonder how to use this. But tonight we're going to focus on coloring. But before we do that, I want to make sure to tell you that Sweet Little Valentine is selling out quickly, the class, and you can register until the 23rd. So that's Saturday or Sunday? Saturday.
Unless we sell out.
Unless we sell out. So I would get on that right away if you would like to be part of the Sweet Little Valentines, and I can show you those in a moment. The other thing is we've been adding more things to the outlet thestamperstudio.com, and there is more coming. The things that are coming, I will give you a little teaser, they are recently retired from the previous catalog, the winter catalog. So you want to get on that right away. All right, I'm going to show you tonight how to color. Before I do that, I will go ahead and show you these darling cards. So these are what we're making with the Sweet Little Valentine. You'll make 10 cards. They come with envelopes, and then 10 of these, and then I will mail you the things to make this one also, and of course I'll include an envelope in that as well. Is that better?
Yep.
I think so. All right, so that's Sweet Little Valentine, and it is super sweet. Who wouldn't love to get these, right?
Hi, Laverne.
Hi, Laverne. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to color. Coloring is fun and also can be frustrating if it's not working the way you want it to work, right? Okay, so first thing I want to show you is I'm going to use Stampin' Blends, Stampin' Blends, and these are absolutely one of my favorite things to use.
Can you hold it up to the camera again? You went kind of fast.
What's that?
The Stampin' Blend.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to hold it up to the camera. Sorry, Stampin' Blends. There we go. And this color I'm using is, the color's always on the side, Dark Cinnamon Cider. They're sold in sets of 2. So, and I'm going to show you why I love these in just a moment. I'm coloring my little darling donkey. Oh, hee-haw. My little donkey.
Hey, Barb.
Hi, Barb. So first thing I'm showing here are the Stampin' Blends because they are so wonderful. I would have to say this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, coloring tool. All right, let's add a little bit of maybe a darker or different color. Here's what I like about it. So if I draw a line here, can you see that line? Can I go lower? I'm going to go lower. There we go. If I draw a line here, it disappears, right? So I can put in a shadow and not have it look quite so obvious. I'm going to color his little feet here. Or the other thing I like about these is if I want it, this is the light color. If I wanted to go make the ears darker, I can just keep going over them, or the eyes. The little eyes. If I go over them, it just gets them darker. You'll probably be able to see that well with this one is Dark Petal Pink. So I'm going to use that for his ears and his nose. And like I told you the other day, I'm going to use the little color lifter, and I'll show you. I'm going to use Real Red. This is the thinner end. This end is like a marker, great marker. The other end is a brush end. So I'll show you that in just a second. The other end you can color very.
Wow, Barb, 16 kangaroos.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of coloring.
You can color a thin line. You can really press it down. You can lay it on its side. So you can get a lot of dimension and a lot of width, I guess is what I was going for on these. So I'm just going to color in that leaf a little bit. Okay, let's say, for example, this, well, I did go out of the line, but I'm going to go out of the line a little bit, well, a lot. The color lifter, Can you look and see it? I don't remember if this is sold with something else, but if I put this on here, it lightens it. I mean, that was a pretty big out of the line, but on here I can see like on his lip, I have a little bit out of the line over here, little bits, but it does lighten it. Now it just looks like something that we'll come back to that and see what it looks like. All right. So that I love, love, love Stampin' Blends. And sometimes I try to just do shading where Stampin' Up! Has already done shading, you know, so I try to just go a little bit where I see that little dark line. I just try to do a little bit where I see what they've already added. Okay.
The color lifter is sold individually for $4.50.
Individually, perfect. All right, but that's pretty good. That color right there can. Do you want me? I'll lift it up so you can see it. That's pretty good. I mean, I colored it this brown color. I mean, that's not bad. That took off that much color. So, so those are Stampin' Blends. Love, 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 love my Stampin' Blends. There's one color that I wanted to show you, and that's ivory. Because you might think, well, what color is ivory? Ivory is like this, kind of like that. Maybe it's lighter than crumb cake, but it's a nice color for example, here for his nose. All right, so those are our Stampin' Blends. I also wanted to show you, you of course could use our Stampin' Write markers. Now, I would use these for just small areas, and I'm going to show you why. For a small area, it's perfect because I can really get right inside that line if I want it to be just perfect. I know I can, I mean, this little line is so thin. Oops. That's so thin. And this one is, it's not, certainly not as thick as that one. Now, here's what I would not want to do with Stampin' Write markers. If I go to color this whole inside of his body, it ends up looking not as good because it doesn't blend. The Stampin' Blends has alcohol in it, so it's going to blend together. This, I feel like I can see these lines. I'm trying to make it blend together, and it's very difficult to get it to blend together. Okay, so I would say it's good for smaller areas, not as good for big areas. That's what I would use these. Even his face is a little too big because I don't know if you can see if I go up and down. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it. You can see the stripes kind of on his head, whereas this one has completely blended in. It looks more like a shadow there. Okay, I'm going to go over this one more time with our lifter and see what we can get off there. See what will come off. See how much. Oh, look at, I just got some on his leg. Let's just go like that and see, right in the middle. Just to see. Look at that. It comes right off. Woo! It's like magic. That's fun. He looks weird like that, but that's fun. All right, so those are our regular markers. All right, now, yes.
The Stampin' Write markers are on page 144 of the main catalog. $15 for 5 markers, sold in the color families, or you can buy all 40 colors for $123.
Okay, thank you for that infomercial. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different ways to color. 8 actually. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 different ways to color this. So that's what I'm excited to show you. Oops. Okay, so the first way, I'm going to use these new blending brushes. Okay, they are kind of bendy. They are literally hairs, little hairs, as you can see. And I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. And the way they work is you kind of just go around like that. Oops, you cannot even see what I'm doing. There we go. Like that. Very hard. It would be difficult to stay completely in the lines. But I could stop there, except I wanted to add a little pink to the edge. So, I mean, I can try to add a little pink. This would be fine if I was like die cutting this out maybe. But there, like right there, it's hard to make it exactly where I want to go. What I do like it for would be, this one was green, coloring a bigger spot, a bigger area like this. Or if I was, sorry, I kind of moved that quickly. So coloring something more like this, where I'm trying to get a bigger area. Switch to the Rococo Rose, or something like this, and I'm going to cut it out. I mean, look how quickly that is to color that, right? If I want to make clouds, for example, I'm going to make pink clouds, but clouds, I could put a template there, and I could make I can make a line, an edge. So I could make like some clouds if I want. Okay. So, and then
Excuse me. Laverne has a question.
Yes, Laverne.
Why would you want to buy markers instead of blends?
I would not.
For coloring stamps?
No, because I tried it tonight. It didn't. Oh, the blends didn't work, but maybe the markers would. I will try that in a moment. Okay. Yes. So I'll do that right now because Dave and I were talking about this. Like, you can color a stamp. Okay, so let me finish this first. So here, I like the brushes for bigger areas, or if I'm not trying to stay in the lines. I'm mixing up my colors. So if I just want to get some color on something, don't really want to stay in the lines, I just kind of want to add some color, that's what I'm going to use them for. I probably would not use them for something as small as that. Okay, so what I did try is I used my Stampin' Blends. Let's move all this off. I'm going to close this for a moment. I did use my Stampin' Blends and tried to color stamps, and it did not work. But what Dave was just commenting on is wondering if we can use our Stampin' Write markers. I was wondering why it didn't work. But I know Barb also asked a question, so I want to show her how I put these on, because that was another question she had. And I'm kind of just using this Simply Succulents, and by the end, I have a very fun card to show you. So I'm going to show you this, and then we'll try coloring on the stamp. So I just want to peel off the backing, okay? Then I'm going to take the stamp, I peel off this white part. I don't need to take that off. I just need to put it right in there, like that. Okay, just like that. I peel it off, and now it's stuck on. I did on the this one that I was using, I did that. But the first time I stamped it, I got a little smudge like that. So what I do in that case is I go back and I take this and I cut it. Wherever that line was, I just cut it off. And I don't worry about the picture. I want the edge of the stamp off. Okay, let's go ahead and try coloring. We used to be able to do this, and I don't know why it wasn't working well with the blends. It does not work with the blends.
Because it's alcohol.
Oh, because it's alcohol, of course. But with the Stampin' Write markers, you can color words. That was a great question, Laverne. You can color words and then stamp with them. So if you wanted to get more than one color on a stamp, and then you huff, you go, make a huffy sound, breathe on it, get your air on it, and there you go.
If you have a teenager at home, they're really good at the huffing.
We don't have a teenager huffing, thank goodness. So that is, so for details or for stamps like that, those are the two uses, the two reasons I would use the Stampin' Write markers. Great questions. Okay, I'm going to move on. So I did the brush. I'm going to use watercolor pencils. So watercolor pencils come in exact colors now. They didn't used to, but they do now, and the colors are written on here. So I'm going to use this green and a pink. And the great thing about watercolor pencils is you just literally scribble. I don't have to color. I'm just going to scribble like that. Literally scribble. Scribble that I want some pink on the edge, and I want pink in the middle. That's it. There's two things I can color it with, so I'm going to actually color one more at the same time. And I'll show you the two things I can color with. Okay, one thing I can color with is a blender pen. Okay, so these come 3 in a pack, $9.95. Make sure the color has come off. It looks like it's on there, but it's not. And these you just blend, and it blends in your watercolor markers. So then I'm going to clean that off and just by doing that. And then I'm going to get that pink. So blender pen, first way. Okay, watercolor markers, watercolor pencils and a blender pen. Okay, another way is I can use the, these are water painters, and these come 3 in a pack, and they come with different size bristles. So this obviously is the thickest bristle. I try not to bend back my brushes. This one is the medium size, and these are $12. And then this one is the one I'm going to use. That's the smallest. Okay. So that was a blender pen. This one I'm going to use. This is just water in here, just plain old water. And I'm just going to color it. If I want to get the colors off, I could do it on the side. I'm going to squeeze a little bit here and get some, I feel like it's a little dry. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to color. And this is just regular basic white paper. I'm not using watercolor paper. I'm just using, I'm not trying to do any fancy watercolors. Just using basic white. Okay, so there is, and I am not really being careful. Get some of that pink off. I'm going to color, just mix the whole thing together. Okay, so blender pen, more easy, a lot easier to stay exactly in the lines. Watercolor, of course, I did that at the end, just free flowing. It definitely comes out, or not comes out. It definitely, I don't know. It's water. It's a little different look, perhaps. Okay. All right, so we've got blender pen and water, and I'm going to show you a sheet at the end with everything written down so you can kind of compare and see. The next one, let's just do Stampin' Blends. So if I want to use my Stampin' Blends, I can color, and I'm going to leave that center pink. This made me think of Sedona. We went to Sedona, and my goodness, cactus are gorgeous. I had no idea. And, well, I don't have a pink, so we'll use this color. My pink is not over here, so we'll just use this color. All right. So Stampin' Blends would probably be, because see, even I can blend that edge. I just like them. I like them a lot. Okay. It looked really cute in pink. I'll show you that in a second. Oh, I did have pink. Here it is. I'll just go over it again because it's Stampin' Blends, so I can go over it with pink. And it might show up a little bit. Not very much. It's a pretty light pink. Okay, so we got Stampin' Blends, we got watercolor. This one is that brush. A couple other ways. You could use the watercolors with stamp pads. Let's say I don't have the watercolor markers, but you can still use it with the stamp pads. And what you're going to do is squish together the stamp pad because that's what I want. Okay. And I can do this either with my blender pen or my water painter. I'm going to use the water painter first. So I'm going to pick up the color and color in here. Again, I cannot control the water as well as if I'm using a blender pen. I just can't. Right? So we'll do that. I'm going to add a little pink. It's a little hard to control the color, like is it dark or light, or but that gives it definitely a little bit more of a watercolory look. I just kind of clean it off on my hand. And then we'll do the Rococo Rose. And if you can't, when you squeeze it, if you can't get the color there, what you can do is just take a little bit of the refill and drop it in there. That would be fine. So I'm going to pick up some of that. I don't think I want it that dark, but we'll see. And color my little edges with the water painter. Okay, so a little hard to be, if you want it to be like exact, this is not how you'd want to do it, but it definitely looks, I don't know, kind of artsy to me. Since I have the pink open, I'm going to use the blender pen. So this one is the water painter. I'm going to use a blender pen. And it doesn't look clean, Oh, because it has pink on it because I used pink. So I'm going to pick up that color. And this time I could be much more careful. Could. I didn't say would. I just said could. Much more careful where I'm coloring. I can definitely control this easier than the water. Just depends on what look you're going for. Wipe that off because I've got pink on it. I don't want pink. I could use the other end as well, but I'm just going to wipe it off. Keep going until it's clear. Okay, so now it's clear. And I'll go into the green. And just blend color. So just depends on what look you're looking for. You know, do you want it to be really a little bit more in the lines, or are you okay with it out of the lines? Watercolor, blender pen. Okay, I'm gonna wipe that off. All right, let's see. I had something else. Oh yes, a dauber is, I have one, I think. Can you grab me a dauber? I don't think, oh no, I have it right here. Hello. I have daubers. I had daubers in a container for a while and they became quite a mess. So now I have this little organizational tool that I use for my daubers. And as I need more, I'll just buy more. But I put a little piece of paper in the bottom for what color it is. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I do know I want to use the pink. These fit on your finger. I think you get 12, question mark. So daubers.
You get five.
Five for how much?
$5.
$5. Okay. So I'm just going to tap it in here and I can kind of color it. Okay. It will be hard for me to stay in the lines with a dauber, but if I'm die cutting this out, it wouldn't matter. Okay. So I'll use this one. Tap, tap, tap. If I'm die cutting it, it's a pretty quick way to color, right? If I die cut that out. So that's a dauber. The best thing about a dauber is if you wanted to make, well, first off, they're just fun to put on your fingers, right? The other thing is they make great polka dots. So if you're doing a background or something with a party theme and you want polka dots, they are awesome for polka dots. All right, I'm going to put those back in the right spot. There we go. All right, so that's the dauber. The other thing you could use is a sponge. Again, you're not going to get specific coloring space in the space. Yep, it's great for backgrounds. This one is really good. A sponge would be good for like even different than that, like the clouds. Let's say I was doing clouds, because I can really get a little bit different. I'm going to go up here. I could get a little bit of texture, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Depth and texture. So right here, that's the sponge. So it really is, things all have a different purpose. But so let me show you this. That was just kind of showing you everything. So here I wrote it down. I'm going to go up a little bit higher now so you can see it. I wrote it down so we could see. So Stampin' Write markers. I tried the blends here and it didn't work. So I will redo that with Stampin' Write markers. So here we go. Watercolor pencils and water painters. Watercolor pencils and blender pens. So these are both watercolor. Stampin' blends. Ink pad and blender pen. Ink pad and water painter. A sponge. A dauber. And this one is bleach. So you see, I'm going to lift this up so you can see it. I used Mossy Meadow, and I have one blender pen that is dedicated to bleach. And it has a little tag on it that says bleach. So if I wanted to pull off some color, I don't use this very often, but that's what I did here to get the color on a dark color to get it to look a little bit lighter. So that's the bleach. So, what do you think? Lots of different ways to color. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite way to color? Is one of my questions. The other is we have storage for the Stampin' Blends, and they're awesome. The storage are awesome because you can just slide them in. It keeps them horizontal, which is the way you're supposed to store them instead of like up and down. Think about all the ink would flow to one side. So Stampin' Blends are great for that. Do you have a favorite? Okay, here's the wow. You ready? I copied this card from a woman named Heidi. Yes. I'm going to flip this over so you can get the full effect of my card. Oh, that's the other thing. If you are coloring with Stampin' Blends, you want to make sure you have another layer because it does go through because it's alcohol. Okay. All right. You ready? Ooh, I think it's so pretty. So this is using the, where'd it go? I have too many things out, that's for sure. Yep, this is using the Simply Succulents. And here it is. So I used the big cacti, colored them in different shades of green. And then I used this one and die cut that one out to pop it up a little bit. So it has a little bit of dimension on there. If you notice, this is a little darker. I did take the brush and just kind of went around it a little bit to make the edge just look a little bit darker. I colored this with Stampin' Blends. Obviously just stamp that. This, did I bring that down? Remember what I was just working on? The die cuts. They're on the ottoman. So this little cute little thanks is on there. And I did the 3D bricks on this one on the bottom. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. So, what's funny? Hey, Tammy. Okay, so colored pencils and blender pens. Nice. That's your favorite. Awesome. Yeah, there's all different. I mean, it's really different looks because colored pencils, I don't think you're going to get as dark of a color as the Stampin' Blends, but I'm kind of partial to them, so you already know that. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'll post it underneath, and I'll take a picture of my card and give credit to the person who made it, who I copied it from. But those are many of the ways that I know to color. There may be more, but those are some of the ones that I know. All right. Make sure you register for Sweet Little Valentines, because that is, I'll show you those one more time. That is, the registration is ending on January 23rd, Saturday. So here's our Sweet Little Valentines. They are so cute. They are so cute. So you get to make 10 of these, and then I will send you to make one of these, and everything has envelopes with it. So, and you also get, additionally, you get a half pack of the resin hearts. So you get 70 red and white little resin hearts. Aren't they pretty? Love it. There's that. And then
Don't forget celebrations going on.
Celebration, but don't forget to sign up for Take It Up a Notch. Register by Wednesday the 20th. So here is one of our cards. And I'm just going to show you this other one because it's probably one of my favorite, is the Shutter card. This is the wow, right? Wow. Wow. I mean, I could just sit there and do that for a while. So yes, and don't forget, it's Celebration for January and February. So for every $50 you purchase, you not only get a Celebration stamp set, you also get a point from me. So make sure, if you don't have the Celebration catalog, make sure you ask me for it. Let me know and I'll get you some. Get you one and get you one of the JJ21, January to June 21 catalogs also. So you get 50 if you purchase $50, you get to choose something wonderful out of here. But in addition, you also get a point from me, and 10 points equals a $50 shopping spree. So that is something that you could look forward to. I think that is what we've got for you. So let me know what you're wondering about. Let me know other things you're wondering about. I would love to show you. I have some ideas, but if you have ideas, what?
Tammy
Oh.
says take it up a notch is sold out. It's not.
It's not. So we'll fix that, Tammy. Thank you so much. We just literally posted the February classes. So no, it is not. Thank you so much. We'll take a look at that. Appreciate that. No bummer. You can sign up for it. All right. You guys have a great evening, rest of your evening. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you like the video, share it with your friends, stay up because it makes you happy, makes me happy. And I will see you on Saturday for Saturday in the studio, unless I happen to see you earlier because look what came today. Woohoo! Paper pumpkin. All right, friends. See you later.